What is going on, everybody? So, welcome. Obviously, like I said, I'll say this too: the title of thumbnail, it ain't does not lie because obviously, for
Yeah,
those who have not paid attention to what happened to the world in the MLB, former I guess you say former Orioles broadcaster has Kevin Brown has been suspended
actually, no,
indefinitely.
it's not. Actually, it's not former. He is going to be coming back soon.
Hmm.
It's not. It's not former, man. He's still the broadcaster. He was just suspended.
But
But
still,
this is. But finish off. But I want to say this is some soft ass shit from the owner.
well,
But
we'll
I'll
get
get.
to just the owner as well. But for those who are want to get you guys caught up to speed. So obviously the Orioles were going down to Tampa Bay, playing the series, but the graphic department showed the Orioles have not played well in Tampa Bay for the last 15 series, and at the time they were 0-15-1, and apparently John P. Angelos never did like that. But he's like, never really liked that, but which we'll get into in today's video of suspending him for doing his job. So that's pretty much in a nutshell. So
It's
particular.
basically all it is in short term. He was just suspended for doing his job right. Like what?
Oh, absolutely. And the fact of the matter is, like, it brings up the burning question: like, is the you know, as the title says, John P. Angelo soft or a fragile ego? For me, I think he has both. If that's the case, because
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. He has both because his ego is I can do no wrong. I'm a good owner. Yeah, you're a good owner because you have a GM finally. But dude, you can't hide from the incompetence. Everybody saw it for the last handful of years before the guys got good. And the thing is, you sit there and you want to suspend somebody over doing his job. If here's my thing. What he had said about the past series of the race series. It was complimentary, in my opinion, because going into that game where he got suspended in before that game, they were winning the series. They were up 2 games to none. That was the final game of that series, and it was more so of a situation where it's like how far the team has come. That's what he was getting at. It was complimentary.
it
It
really
was
is.
nothing. It was nothing offensive. It was nothing hurtful. Oh, did it ruin your stupid ass ego? Did it ruin your rep? Oh, that and it showed that you couldn't build a team or you hired the wrong guy in the beginning to build a team. Yeah, sure you could be mad that I made mistakes in the past, but he was saying how you learned from them, hired the right guy this time, and you've built a team. You built
Eh,
a culture, and that's the point that he was trying to make. And your soft ass decides to, oh, you're suspended indefinitely, and then you made it to where, oh, you're just suspended a week. No, that's also not enough. Unsuspend him.
and that and Tar, you got to think of this too. John P. Angelos and the Angelos family has had a history as well because they've done this twice in the past with John Miller.
Remember what's his face?
You got John Miller was one of them.
John Miller. Let me talk about the John Miller situation too. You did this in the past. John Miller did the same shit. He gets fired. He
And
essentially does the same shit that this dude did.
because I've touched upon it last night. For those who aren't seen it, yeah, it's like you got to look how far the Orioles have come as a franchise, and especially under the Angeles family. Now, the head honcho, not John. No, he that was never usually the issue. It's John himself who was from. I've been here for a lot of Baltimore fans who have constant criticisms. And yes, absolutely, he's shown
John is soft. He's inept as an owner for two. And now you have other announcers for other teams rallying against you. Against you. They are against you, man. And the fact of the matter is that you're shit as a human being, you're shit as an owner. And you fire a man, or you don't fire a man, excuse me. You fire one man for doing this shit. For just calling games, and then you suspend another guy years later for doing the same thing.
It's funny because, John, I mean, look, if you look at this Orioles team under John's his tenure as an owner, honestly, it has not been great, because if you think about it, after 2014, that's when you saw, that team starting to go downhill under John P. Angelos ownership. Like you said, hiring their own guy, and the broadcast points it out, like, yeah, we've been a laughing stock of the American League East for years prior.
Or actually, in this case, they kept the guy for longer than they should have. It was kind of like the Phillies situation. They kept one GM for longer than they should have, and the ineptitude shone through from that GM. And they finally woke up and they hired the right guy to right the ship. But what really pisses me off about this whole situation is the fact that the announcer did nothing wrong. Nothing wrong.
It really is. I mean, at the time before that situation, that came out on the graphic, it showed that the Baltimore Orioles, always had problems playing in Tropicana Field prior, for the last handful of years. They were 0 wins, 15 losses against
one tie. And one tie.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the thing. That is the thing that irks me about this. He's not the one that writes the facts. The production team who puts that graphic together, they have to put that together within the hour before the broadcast starts. It is known that's the case.
And that's the thing too, where it separates from one owner to another, especially in the case of John P. Angelos. He doesn't like the fact that people talk about like how bad the Orioles were in the past. Like, when you realize too, like you had the entire city, that entire Orioles fan base almost coming at your head, especially if you look at last night when I mentioned this, when the situation was being brought about. Yeah, you had, the entire Baltimore Orioles fan base chant "Free Kevin Brown." Like,
yeah, I heard that. I'm like, y'all messed up. When you have an entire fan base, and here's the thing. They sold out that crowd for that reason too. And albeit another reason is because the Orioles are good this year. So of course they'll sell out now that they're good.
Oh yeah.
But you have an entire sellout crowd chant "Free Kevin Brown." You have an entire fan base chant "Free Kevin Brown" because they like the guy. They respect the guy. They think the guy is good at his job. But evidently, you don't, because you don't want any bad freaking. You don't want the history of this damn team. Like, the bad parts of history of this team being said. All you want is just the good parts. The 90s and the 80s and the 2014.
It really does. For those who are going to see this video, like, I want you to put yourself in Kevin Brown's shoes, and the fact that, look, you also got to take into consideration the graphics department, not just from the graphics department, but all the production crew. You have to do a lot of research within the history of the Baltimore Orioles in certain.
Yeah, they got to do the research of the past history against the teams that they face, and then an hour leading up to the game, they have to put a graphic together. And then the announcer reads off that graphic.
Yeah, and
so really you should, if you were that pissy over the situation, Suspend the graphic team.
And quite honestly,
Suspend that.
and this is the crazy part too. Um, the crazy part is I've seen a lot of people, and rightfully so, are demand. I think at this point the Angelos need to sell the Orioles as quick as they possibly can, because
Oh,
if I mean, look, if you're not going to run the franchise, I mean, look, granted, yes, they've been good this year, but it also sends to the fact that if you can't have the ownership, really looked down upon, like say, oh, you got to do like, and that's not just from the team itself, but also like the broadcast crew and stuff like that. It's like it doesn't make any sense. Now, if I'm John Piangelos, yeah, I know there's going to be a lot of heat breathing down my neck going forward because knowing that
but I want to know how the hell does the Orioles owner own the goddamn sports network that they run their shit on? And it's basically the same network that the freaking Nationals have.
Yeah, absolutely.
How in the hell do they even own it? And why do they own it? Like I don't see freaking John Milton owning NBC Sports.
You really don't.
You don't see that. And that's the thing. And why are you and again, why are you suspending a guy for absolutely goddamn nothing?
It really is. I mean, it makes no sense. As an owner, like if you like, because like I've made this, I don't say comparison, but in a way, we all thought that Dan Snyder was the most hated owners. Now, honestly, we have somebody else taking that title, and that's the Angelos family of the owners of the Baltimore Orioles. Probably
That's the thing. But yeah, is it worse than Dan Snyder? No. But that's the thing. That's the thing with these owners, man. Once they get that top dollar, they just don't care.
Yeah, and if I'm Kevin Brown, like I'll start looking for my options elsewhere if that's the case, and get away.
Right. If they suspended me for some bullshit like that, if I was the Orioles broadcaster and they suspended me over bullshit like that, I'd have been like, you know what? Fuck you guys. Suspend me. I don't care. I'm done. I quit.
I mean,
I'm leaving the broadcast booth. I'm leaving this sorry ass franchise that you run because of this bullshit.
It really is. So all in all, before we get out of here, yeah. But John, like I've never seen an owner so thin-skinned to the point where it's like you don't like your history coming back to bite you. Apparently, quote unquote.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. I said this before, like a little bit ago. Again, let me reiterate this. This was 2 games into a series where they were leading 2-0 this season. They were beating the Rays, which is something they couldn't do since 2017. And that was being reiterated on live television. And you're pissed about it?
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, dude, if you were so pissed about it, why didn't you rectify the situation then? Why did you let it go to 0-15? Why did you let it get that far? Why couldn't you hire a GM that was actually freaking competent until last year? Tell me that, dude.
Yeah.
Tell me that.
But yeah, I mean, John Angelos, it just seems like prior to 2017, but if you look at how this franchise was run, yes, they're a small market team, and obviously, let's be like I said, they're one of those teams that I think, like, yeah, and rightfully so, and like they have look, no matter how good if the Orioles are good, like let's just say the Orioles are World Series contenders or win the World Series and still have inept ownership. It's still going to make a difference to the fact that it's like, oh, we won the World Series, but let's keep all the shit in the past. But because it's like, look at the teams that.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing that really bothers me. It's the fact that they're now not inept, but they're causing bullshit to people that don't deserve it. Like, come on, man.
It really is.
it's gotten to the point where, like I said before, other goddamn announce teams from other teams are pissed about it. They're pissed.
Yeah,
The Mets announce team pissed. The Yankees announce team. Oh, freaking
well,
Michael K ranted and
and speaking of
raved
Michael
on a
K as
podcast.
well, like kind of tie into that as well with the rest of the broadcasting community. But it's kind of crazy because we never seen something like I think this is the first time in Major League. I think in a very long time we've seen a broadcast. Well, second time actually, but one obviously the first time that's wrongfully not deserved. And that's
One dude got fired, and this is the two times it happened are from the same team and the goddamn same ownership.
yeah, and it's a span
That
of
tells you something right there, man. That tells you something.
yeah. And for those who don't remember the John Miller situation, I highly recommend you guys go look that up because this kind of feel like it's kind of moving straight through this Baltimore organization for a team that, well, let's be real. Like I said before, they were the biggest laughing stock of the American League East for what up till 2022. I mean, I
Up
mean,
to from from 2015 to 2022, they were a laughing stock.
and it's sad for a team that has amazing talent on its roster, but yet the ownership does not do nothing to help that. But
Not really. Not no. It's not. It's not a team issue. It's not a team issue. The issue at hand here. It's not that he can't build a team. Have a GM that can build a team. That's been rectified. That's fine. That front is fine. It's just the fact that the owner is incredibly soft-headed,
really,
thin-headed, and he can't take criticism. He can't take that. Oh, the graphic shows that they were 0-15 against this team before, and now they're fine. That was what was being said.
and
And you're sitting there and you're telling me, John, I'm talking to you,
so
that you're pissy. Excuse me, that you're pissy over a graphic that the guy who said it didn't even write? Come on.
it's not just that too, and this is like in terms of the fragile eagle part. There's a lot more that I think a lot of people don't know about as well. Because obviously, I by the time this video is done, I'm going to leak some articles. One in particular that, according to the Chicago Sun Times, oh boy, this is a headline. This is a headline that, well,
Bro, air the dirty laundry. Get it out there, man.
for
Because
according to Chicago Sun Times, so obviously this is actually headlined by suspending announcer Kevin Brown, Orioles owner John Angelos starts a petty PR war that he can't win. Now,
he's right. It is right. He started a petty PR war that he ain't gonna be able to win.
yeah, and you ticked off your entire fan base who, let's be real, God, or in terms of the passion, in terms of the small markets, we're showing up and showing out, and yet John Angelos doesn't have the right state of mind to actually, you know what,
I wonder if the Philly newspaper said anything. I'm looking this shit up. I'm looking for more dirty laundry
yeah.
here,
So
but
will link these newspaper articles down in the description down below. It's
uh,
can be quite honest, ladies and gentlemen, and for those who are seeing this video, like, yeah, I know there was a lot of different talking points with John Angelos. I mean, you also have to take in consideration, yeah, he did the same crap with John Miller at the same time, and it really makes you want to think. Okay, look, if I'm a baseball owner,
they didn't write anything about it. The Philly Inquirer didn't
yeah,
write anything about the
but
shit.
all in all, it's all in
Hold
short.
on, I'm looking up freaking paper articles here. 'Cause I'm gonna air some dirty laundry too.
But and also from the Baltimore Sun. Actually, that's what
Oh, and the USA Today that the PR war is silly.
Yeah, it's that.
John Miller, the famous you guys know him from ESPN and the San Francisco Giants. He said he doesn't get why he was suspended.
Yeah, it really doesn't. It makes you wonder, like, what's going in the head of John Angelos. It really, it like
And
it's
also,
sometimes
another thing, you got announcers saying shit about this whole thing, which they're right about. They're fighting for Kevin Brown, just like the fans are, just like all of baseball's fans
just
are.
the general, yeah,
Um,
just the
the general public, basically. But you have guys like Patrick on his talk show. Rich Eisen talked it on his talk show. A lot of these analysts are talking about this, and they're not happy.
and rightfully so, like we say,
This
and
this is a P and that article you just read was right. This is
yeah,
a PR war that cannot be won because everybody who's famous is trashing your ass.
and it's and to going back to that point too, and I mentioned the pressure that might be actually could see John Angelos finally cracking, so and actually rectify his decision of not suspending him of Kevin Brown, and rightfully so. There's gonna be a lot. Let's be real. If you talk about heat, but this is nuclear heat right on the shoulders of John P. Angelos and the Angelos family. So to the Ravens, but the Baltimore Orioles fans, y'all deserve a whole lot better than what your ownership is giving you. Yes, granted, you have a really good team this year, but to John Angelos, it's either
The GM is fine. He can build a team. I don't mind the GM. The problem is is the owner because he is thin headed and
and
he
cheap.
does not and he's cheap and he says here's the thing and I call freaking nonsense of what he said. The reason why that I suspended Kevin Brown because he made me seem cheap. Well, no shit, because you have what the 28th, 29th payroll in the league.
Yeah,
You're damn right you're cheap.
yeah, because like the one team that is worse in terms of payroll, that's the Oakland A's, and you're not saying much. And think of this too. And John Angelos during his time, or when he was when his father, and hopefully the father gets better. I think it's like Louis Angelos. Someone correct us in the comment section down below, but I think I might be wrong. But regardless, and even looked at last year, even talking about more the most part of this fragile eagle. He also tried. There was a part of a bit of a lawsuit last year over try to get full control of the Baltimore Orioles, and I guess the father was not having none of it, obviously because he's having health problems, and
that's another issue. It's another issue. This all stems from freaking money. For two. Like last year, you tried to cause a rift with your sick father, your sick goddamn father, over owning the baseball team. Are you freaking kidding me? Again, this is a fragile ego.
Well, here's another one from another article from Baltimore Sports and Life. So, if anyone wants to check this out, like I said, we'll link these down below. But this one, boy, if you talk about going ruthless. So Ben Palmer of the Baltimore Suns and Life, and also from the Baltimore Orioles sports media personnel, he has an article that's headlined "John Angelos is a fragile child."
He is. He's basically a fucking child. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. He is basically a damn child.
So, okay. So I'll listen. Before we get, so in this article, which, like I said, I will have this link down below. And you also, and for those who you can check on Google as well, if you don't want to do that. But he goes on to say, hating on the Angelos family has been a favorite pastime of the Orioles fans for the better past of 30 years. Basically, ever since Peter Angelos bought the team. In fact, it's almost become a cliche to hate on the Angelos fan. But lately, John Angelos, chair and managing partner of the Orioles, has really taken things to a new and impressive asinine level.
Yeah, this is
That's
this is
that's one way to put it.
that is exactly the right. Oh my god, I'm coughing a lot today. But this is the exact right explanation for this.
So, and speaking of
Because
what you do,
this is astronomically laughable at this point.
oh, it gets even better. So to reinvent our point, the point we made of not winning in Tropicana Field. If you're not familiar, here's the quick rundown. As first reported by Alpha Announcing and then later confirmed by The Athletic on July 23rd, Kevin Brown made the factual statement that the Orioles have won more games at Tropicana Field in Tampa Bay in this season than they had in the last 3 years combined. Think about that for a minute.
And you're sitting there, and here's the thing. All Kevin Brown was doing was spitting facts. He was not saying anything remotely offensive. He didn't go on TV, drop the N-word on TV. He didn't drop the R word on TV. He didn't do anything remotely close to offensive. All he did was speak facts about your team. Your team wasn't that good the last 3 years. I'm telling you that right now, except for last year. Last year, they were pretty confident. They went 83-79. That was great. Good building block there. We still missed the playoffs, but it was still good. But the 2 years before that, they were, by all intents and purposes, freaking a steaming pile of crap.
I mean,
they were terrible.
Yes, I know. For those who are watching this video, yes, we do want to say more. Obviously, we don't want to get right into it, but yeah, it's a good point. And Tyre brought up reads Tyre's point too. Yeah, they're 29th in baseball in payroll. Yet it's not just that. When Peter Angelos and the Angelos family was still owning the Baltimore Orioles, look at the players that they run out of town. Manny Machado, Adam Jones was now retired, I guess. Delman Young, when they had him, they ran him out of town. Like you could have had, if you had a competent ownership, you could have had still kept Manny Machado, and yes, obviously, and yes, the ownership, but yeah, it's like the ownership is just so incompetent. Now, yes, Peter Angelos, which I mean, I get why people hate him most back then, but now, like, if you thought of talk about hating him now, but I think his son is whole much worse. But that being said, for those, it makes you like the last and final tidbit we're going to give to you. Just think, of Kevin Brown's situation and what he has to, especially the amount of money now he's losing because of that.
He's losing so much money because of course, he's not working. He is suspended, and Kevin Brown. I hope you realize you deserve better. I hope you realize that this was just bullshit spewed onto you for no reason. And I'm sure you know that it is. I'm sure you know, because you said nothing. Like I said, reiterate this for the third time. You said nothing offensive. You were just spitting facts over the last 3 years. They weren't able to beat the Rays. And you even said the Rays were good, so it's not really a big deal. You said it yourself. The Rays were good, not really a big deal. If we can beat them, we beat them twice this year, and they're still a good team. That's impressive in their own right. That's all you said. And you didn't say anything derogatory. That's the thing I was trying to say. He didn't say anything derogatory. No. He didn't say anything offensive. He didn't say anything that would harm his reputation himself. Like, the A's analyst did. That harmed his reputation and got him fired. Which that was a right call. But in your situation, Kevin Brown, honestly, I hope you look that owner in the face eventually if it happens a second time. I know you love the team. I know you're an Orioles guy. I know that team has a place in your heart. But the problem is, this is a business. And if you if an owner if your boss is shit, Get out of there, man.
Yeah, you really have to. But that being said, guys, what do you guys think about this Kevin Brown situation? If you guys want to rant in the comments down below, absolutely. Give you guys your thoughts, reactions, and how you and to the Orioles fans. If you've ever see this video, let us know in the comments down below how you guys feel at this point. But with that being said, guys,
Oh, wait. Pump the brakes. Sponsor time, people. Sponsor time.
But yeah, so and also for those who are watching this video, this video is sponsored by SeatGeek. For those who actually want to get tickets, concert events, all that good stuff, make sure you go to SeatGeek, use Philly Sports, all in capital letters. To say $20 off, that'll be in the description. And you also
and we have Dubby, the energy drink for gamers.
For gamers, Twitch streamers, are just
anybody who needs to pick me up to have a little bit of energy.
Yeah, go to w.gg. Use Sports Wrestle 10, all capital letters to save 10% off, and also check out the merch store down below.
We got merch.
But with that being said,
I had to be the hype man. Sorry about that.
Well, with that being said, everybody, let us know how your thoughts and reactions and opinions down in the comment sections down below. And with that being said, have a good one, guys.
Peace.